If you are a YouTuber or a content creator in Canada and you're wondering what tax write-offs you can take, this video is for you. Hi, I'm Gabrielle, a CPA and tax expert. In today's video, I will be covering the top 6 write-offs for YouTubers and content creators so that you can maximize your tax deductions, minimize your tax bill, and keep more money for you and your business. Before we jump into the tax write-offs, I want to give you some background on what expenses are deductible for tax. There are 2 types of expenses, current and capital expenses. First type of expenses are current year expenses, which basically means that you have consumed and used up the benefits of the expense in the current year. This is different from capital expenses, which has a lasting benefit and gets depreciated over its useful life. This basically means that you would need to deduct the cost of the capital asset over its useful life. I'll be covering more examples related to this later in this video, so make sure that you watch until the very end. The general rule of thumb when it comes to business expenses, in order for them to be tax deductible, are that they need to be reasonable and incurred for the sole purpose of earning business income. While this definition appears broad, the Income Tax Act, which is over 3,200 pages long, has specific restrictions and limitations related to deductions. For example, meals and entertainment are not fully deductible and limited to only a 50% write-off. When it comes to YouTubers and content creators, it's a very unique situation in which certain expenses that may be generally perceived as personal expenses, such as clothes, which are not deductible for tax, can be considered as a business expense since you can create content and film YouTube videos around clothing hauls and earn business income from it. As you can assume, there can be some gray areas and each content creator is unique. So make sure that you consult with your tax advisor on your specific situation, as this video is just for informational purposes only. Now, let's get started on the top 5 tax write-offs for YouTubers and content creators. Tax write-off number 1. Home office expenses. Many YouTubers and content creators primarily work from home. And did you know that you can deduct a part of your rent or mortgage as a tax write-off? However, you do need to have a dedicated space in your home where you film, create content, edit, respond to emails, have meeting with sponsors, etc. You can calculate your home office expense by taking the area of the workspace divided by the total area of your home. In addition, if you use part of your home for both business and personal living, you need to calculate how many hours in the day you use the rooms for business and divide it by 24 hours. For example, if you use a room in your home exclusively for business and it is 25% of the total size of your home, you could deduct 25% of all home-related expenses as part of your home office expense. If you rent, you can deduct the business portion of your rental expense, utilities such as electricity, heat, and hydro, as well as cleaning costs such as cleaning supplies and even cleaning services. If you own your home, you could deduct your mortgage interest, though not your mortgage principal, utilities such as electricity, heat, and hydro, cleaning costs such as cleaning supplies and cleaning services, strata fee, property taxes, home insurance, as well as maintenance and repair. If you are working from home and renting out parts of your home like a mortgage helper, you want to be careful of overdoing it, or else you may not be eligible for the principal residence exemption. So make sure that you consult with your tax advisor before taking your home office expenses. Tax write-off number 2, meals and entertainment. Meals and entertainment, or M&E for short, are deductible when incurred to earn business income, such as meeting clients, potential clients, or in the case of YouTubers and content creators, meals and entertainment expenses that incur from collaborations, sponsorships, influencer events, etc. However, the tax treatment is that you can only write off 50% of total M&E expenses. Meals include food, beverages, alcohol, along with taxes and tip, of course. There are certain exceptions to the 50% limitation, so make sure that you consult with your tax advisor for specific cases where you will be eligible to write off 100% of the meal cost. Entertainment expenses that are deductible are the cost of tickets for a theater, concert, athletic event, or other performance, the cost of private boxes at sports facilities, the cost of room rentals to provide entertainment such as hospitality suite, the cost of a cruise, the cost of admission to a fashion show, the cost of entertaining guests at nightclubs, athletic, social, and sporting clubs, and on vacation and other similar trips. There are certain limitations, however. For one, recreational facilities such as use or maintenance of property that is a yacht, a camp, a lodge or golf course or facility, as well as membership fees or dues of any club where the main purpose is to provide dining, recreational, or sporting facilities are not deductible whatsoever. As you can imagine, businesses tend to abuse the above mentioned expenses for tax deductions, which is no longer deductible whatsoever. If you're finding this video useful so far, make sure to hit the like button below to show me some support. Now moving on to tax write-off number 3. Travel expenses. As a YouTuber and content creator, one of the perks of the job is to travel. You could deduct travel expenses you incur to earn business income, such as creating content for a sponsored video. Travel expenses include transportation costs, such as public transportation, air, bus, train, vehicle rental, etc. A combination that are tax deductible are hotels and Airbnb. Though keep in mind that M&E expenses or meals and entertainment expenses are still subject to the 50% limitation. You might also be traveling to go to a conference such as VidCon. When it comes to conventions, there are limitations such as being able to deduct only 2 a year. The conventions also need to meet certain conditions, such as them being related to your business activity, held by a business or professional organization within the geographical area where the organization normally conducts its business. Now, you may have cases where you lump a business-related and personal trip together. In this case, you may only deduct the business portion of the trip and only if the primary purpose of the trip was for business and not a week-long vacation with only 1 hour of business. For example, if you attended a 3-day business convention in Los Angeles, but you also decided to stay an additional 2 days as vacation, only costs relate to 3 days of hotels, transportation, meals, subject to 50% for the business conference is deductible from your business income. However, the airfare to and from LA can be fully deductible as long as the primary reason for going to LA was for business and not for vacation. And the cost of airfare is comparable to the airfare cost you would have incurred if you had only booked for the 3-day conference trip to LA. Sometimes convention fees include the cost of food, beverages, or entertainment, in which case the M&E cost would also be subject to 50% limitation. Tax write-off number 4, technology and software. As a YouTuber and content creator, you have a lot of online tools, softwares, and apps that you may use. Any expenses that are related to your business are also tax deductible. Some costs that you may be incurring are website hosting fees, such as Wix, WordPress, etc., website domain fees, such as GoDaddy, video editing software, such as Adobe Premiere Pro, Veed, etc., graphics software and tools, such as Adobe Photoshop, Canva, social media management tools such as Later. For course creators, course hosting platforms such as Kajabi, Teachables, etc. are all tax deductible. The thing with software subscriptions are that you sometimes prepay a year's worth in advance. In that case, you need to be careful of prepaid costs and prorate them accordingly. For example, if your subscription is from June 2022 to June 2023, you can only deduct half of the prepaid costs in 2022 and the remainder in 2023. Tax write-off number 5. Capital expenses. As a YouTuber and content creator, we need to have a lot of tech items and gadgets to film and produce content. Some capital expenses you may have incurred are lighting, camera, mics, laptops, computer hardware, webcams, keyboards, mouse, cell phone, desk and furniture for your home office, home decor for filming setup, etc. However, these equipment and furniture tend to be pricier and are considered to have a lasting benefit where it can be used for many years. As mentioned previously, these type of expenses are considered capital expenses and would need to be depreciated and deducted over many years. What percentage can be deducted every year really depends on what capital cost allowance or CCA classes the capital expenses fall under. Though I do have great news for you. The budget 2021 that was released by the Government of Canada provides temporary immediate expensing up to $1.5 million per year. Eligible property acquired by a CCPC or a Canadian-controlled private corporation on or after April 19th, 2021, and that becomes available for use before January 1st, 2024, can be considered for immediate expensing and not be subject to the CCA rates. There are some caveats where certain long-lived assets such as buildings and goodwill can't be immediately expensed, but most capital assets would be eligible. Make sure to consult with your tax accountant in terms of which capital assets are eligible for the immediate expensing. The government is also proposing to expand the eligibility for the $1.5 million temporary immediate expensing measure for unincorporated businesses such as sole proprietors and general partnerships. This measure would be effective for investments made on or after January 1st, 2022 that become available for use before 2025. In the case of an individual or partnership, all the members of which are individuals, or before 2024 for other partnerships. Tax write-off number 6, unique expenses specific to your content. As a YouTuber and content creator, you may have a specific niche, such as travel, gaming, fashion, makeup, etc., and have expenses unique to what you do. Certain expenses that you may incur are makeup for makeup hauls and reviews, clothes for clothing hauls and reviews, professional makeup and hair done to specifically film content, travel expenses for travel vlogs and reviews, video games and character upgrades for your gaming channel, and the list goes on and on. Keep in mind that these expenses are incurred to earn business income and need to be reasonable. There is a gray area, however, when it comes to some of these expenses and other unique expenses that are specific to what you do. So I know that I sound like a broken record, but make sure that you consult with your tax advisor in terms of what expenses are tax deductible. Now that you have an idea of some of the tax write-offs that you can take, we covered just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to becoming a business owner. As a YouTuber and content creator, you are considered to be self-employed, which comes with a host of business finances that you need to take care of. Next steps for you might be, if you are a sole proprietor or general partnership, when is the best time to incorporate, having a proper bookkeeping system to keep track of all your income and expenses, proactively planning for taxes to minimize your tax bill, keeping on top of various tax compliance requirements such as personal and business tax returns, GST and HST filings. And if you are incorporated, you also need to think about how to take money out of your company in a tax efficient way in the form of salary or dividends. If you want more guidance around this, then I have some really great resources for you, so make sure to click the link down below in the description box. Do you want to learn about how you can take a tax write-off for your dream car? Well, watch my next video here. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!